Okay, welcome. In this video, I want to open the full EQOS series by giving you the main lens. EQOS, Emotional Intelligence Operating System, is not another mental game slogan. It's not a cute baseball phrase. It's not another way of saying be confident, stay positive, just breathe, any of that stuff. It's an operating system underneath baseball performance. It's a system that decides whether a player can still function when baseball stops feeling comfortable. And it sounds simple, but in the real game, it's not simple at all. Because baseball's not clean. It's slow, then it's fast. It's boring, then it's personal. It gives a player too much time to think, then no time to recover. 1 second you're standing there waiting. The next second, the whole game is asking you a question. Can you still access yourself right now? This is what this book is really about. Baseball's got a bad habit of starting the conversation way too late. Okay, we wait for the strikeout, we wait for the walk, wait for the error. We wait for the kid to slam the helmet, throw his gear, shut down, speed up, or just look completely different. Then we start solving the thing we can see, and that is usually late. Late feedback is not useless, but it's weak. By the time everyone is talking about the swing, the system underneath the swing is usually cooked. So let's put this into an actual game. Hitter steps in the box. Okay, 2 runners on. Heart rate is climbing. Dugout, crowd, everybody's starting to get loud. The moment starts to feel bigger. And suddenly, the swing he had dialed in the cage gets trapped behind tension, behind urgency, behind thought of outcome. Okay, that's not just mechanics. It's not confidence. It's not some kid needing to toughen up. That's the baseball player's operating system being tested in real time. The skill is probably still going to exist. The training will be there. It might still be there. The desire, 100% is going to be real. But access to it all is the question. Can the player still access his skill when the moment starts carrying more weight? For players, this is direct. Stop thinking the only answer is more swings, more video, more bullpens, or one more cue. Sometimes you did not lose the skill. You lost access to it. And that's a different problem. And different problems need different training. More swings will not always fix access. More bullpens will not fix access. Another cue might just become one more thing bouncing around in your head. So the player question here is simple. What changes in me first? Not what happened last, not what did the stats say. What changes first? Is it my breathing, my face, my pace, my thoughts? Is it in my shoulders, decision quality? The earlier you can answer that question, the earlier you can interrupt the pattern. And that's where development gets real. For parents, this matters because your job is, it's not just to buy your kid one more solution every time discomfort shows up. Your job is to help keep the environment stable enough for the players to actually develop. Most parents, they're not trying to hurt their kid. They're trying to help. They drive, pay, schedule. They do all the parent stuff. They sit in the heat. Every weekend is at the yard. They buy the gear. They carry the emotional, stock portfolio of a kid's batting average. The game changer. And it's a lot. But support can still become load. It happens quiet. A look, a sigh, a silent car ride, a lecture that was really the parent trying to regulate their own discomfort. Parents need this lens because the kid is not just reading your words. He's reading the whole system. The parent question is this: am I adding stability or am I adding weight? Okay, that one question changes everything because it doesn't mean you never hold standards. It doesn't mean you never talk about the game. It means timing matters. State matters. If the kid's already cooked, overloaded, adding more words might feel helpful to you when you're making the system actually worse for the player. Good parenting in baseball isn't passive, it's precise. And for coaches, the application is this. You're not just managing swings, bunt defenses, lineups. You're managing access, timing, language, load, and the player's faith that carries the skill. Coaches, you don't need to become therapists. We're not saying that. But coaches need to become better observers. A good coach sees more than the miss. He sees the state around the miss. He sees when a player starts rushing, when the face changes, when the player stops receiving information. He sees when the kid is competing and when the kid is just trying to survive. The coach question is this: what does this player need right now? Is it more information? Is it more stability? A lot of coaching misses because the adult adds the exact thing the player can no longer hold. More words, emotion, more correction, more urgency, more public attention. And that can bury a player while everyone thinks they're helping. Cleaner coaching is often quieter coaching. Less words, better timing, one usable cue. Then let the player re-enter the task. At the youth level, the biggest win is helping the kids name what they feel without drowning them in psychology language. We keep it simple. Are you still connected to the next pitch? That's the foundation. And they need short language they can use while their spikes are dirty and the inning is moving. Competing or protecting, rushing or connected, one pitch or carrying the last one. Youth players need this system to feel practical, not academic. Right, at the college level, pressure changes. The player is surrounded by roles, pressure, daily competition, school, being on their own. Usability under stress becomes a job. College baseball adds pressure that younger players often do not understand yet. Playing time becomes real. Roles change. Coaches have shorter patience. The roster's full of players who were the best kids somewhere else. The environment exposes whether the player can stay stable while being evaluated every day. This is where talent is not enough. The player has to hold his game through uncertainty. Pro baseball strips away the fantasy pretty fast. Everybody's got the tools. Everybody's got the story. Everybody had success somewhere. The level keeps asking the same question. Can you repeat while tired, while exposed, frustrated, released, promoted, demoted, doubted? Can you repeat while being studied? That's why the EQOS matters at that level. The body of work is too long for fake confidence and some motivational wallpapers. So here is the application piece for this video. Use a 1 minute per game EQOS check. Ask yourself 3 questions. What am I carrying? Where does my body feel sped up? What is my one job on the next pitch? Don't make it bigger than it needs to be. A good system starts with one repeatable action. Where does my body feel sped up? What is my job on the next pitch? One breath, one cue. Is it one question, one reset? One thing the player can actually do when the game gets uncomfortable. That's the point. We're not building a personality test. We are building usable performance. A simple way to coach this in practice is to create pressure after a mistake, not just before it. Okay, let the player miss. Let the pitcher walk someone. Okay, let the hitter get beat. Don't say anything. Let the infielder boot a ball. Then watch what happens next. The next rep is usually where the truth lives. Did the player recover? Did they speed up? Okay, did they force it? Did they stay connected? Are they still there? This is the information that matters. Okay, we don't need to correct right away. And players can start this today. After the next practice or game, answer 3 questions. What changed first? What helped me come back? What's the one thing I can train before the next game? And that's it. That's enough. Okay, we don't need a novel. We need it to be repeatable. Let the patterns reveal themselves. So bottom line for the opening of this book, the cover promise and the core definition is this. This series is about the gap between what a player can do and what he can still access when the game starts telling the truth. If you understand that, you stop chasing symptoms and start training the system. That's the whole point of this. It's not trying to make baseball softer. Baseball's hard. Should be hard. But if the game is going to expose players this honestly, then we should develop them with honesty too. Talent gets noticed, but regulation decides what shows up when baseball gets uncomfortable.